Welcome to another show of Retalk TV. I know I'm doing these more often, which is great. Today, we're going to talk about claims and what a public adjuster could bring to the table. Why is it beneficial to get your own public adjuster when you're doing a claim? So last episode, we were talking about insurance and how to structure insurance and what was the good way of making an insurance work for you better. And today, we're going to talk about when you have to use that insurance, what's the best way to go about it. And we have Anthony Guerrero, and he's been a public adjuster for 10 years. And he loves what he does. Really great, really spot on. So we're going to bring him in. Hello.
Hello.
Anthony. How are you?
Hi, I'm very good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I'm very honored to have you here with us. I see that you started your own company. You've been doing this for 10 years, and a year ago you started your own company, which is really good. We're supporting you doing this. And tell us a little bit about how you started. What does a public adjuster, because a lot of people are like, public adjuster, what do they do? What is it?
Yeah, all right. So it's very interesting. And I'm happy to be able to tell you about it because a lot more people need to know about what a public adjuster does. Mm-hmm. So pretty much there's, in the world of claims, specifically property claims, there are three types of adjusters. One is a company adjuster that works for the insurance company. There's also an independent adjuster, which also works for the insurance company, but is pretty much an independent contractor that gets hired by them. Mm-hmm. And then finally, there's a public adjuster. A public adjuster is licensed within each state and represents the policyholder. So the property owner filing the claim. So a funny thing is that most people, when I ask them if they have an adjuster, they'll say, yes, I have an adjuster, but that's actually the insurance company's adjuster.
Yes.
The only adjuster that looks out for your interest would be a public adjuster.
So very important that when you put a claim, if it's a small claim, we understand. I mean, I don't know what the smallest claim would be to hire you, but if you're putting in a claim, don't just take it for the company saying, okay, yeah, we're sending the adjuster. No, find out, ask questions, find out, get somebody who's going to look out for your best interest when you're putting a claim, and hire your own adjuster. It might be worth to hire somebody so that they're looking out for your best interest and not the company's.
Exactly.
And how did you get into it?
All right. So I got into this because my father, he's a building appraiser. He owns his own company, and I wanted to try and really get involved with his business. So he hired me. I worked as an apprentice with him. Pretty much what he does is he's a consultant for insurance companies and other adjusters, mainly public adjusters in New York State. Mm-hmm. And he helps determine the value and the cost of the damages in the home. But on one of the jobs we worked together, we got to run into the public adjuster who hired him. Mm-hmm. I quickly learned that I wanted to do this because my dad was just working, pretty much he was just working to write up estimates of damages. But what the public adjuster was doing was actually orchestrating the whole claim and helping the family, holding their hand throughout the whole process. So it looked like he was really the one helping. And of course, that's what I wanted to do. So I worked for three adjustment firms. I took all the good and left all the bad from all of them, and I composed my company, and that's really where I'm at today. Yep.
Nice. It's so you've really been doing this for longer because you have the other experience. So any experience that you have in real estate, like appraising places and buildings, that's just going to add to your knowledge as an adjuster, of course. So we could say it's even longer. Now, tell us about some of the pitfalls of not hiring your own public adjuster.
Yes. So just look at it this way. With a court of law, you're innocent until proven guilty. But when you're filing an insurance claim, you got to look at it like the opposite. You're guilty until proven innocent, because the insurance adjuster that they send in right away, that from the time you make the call, notice it's always a recorded phone line. That's because they're using every word that you say against you. They're going to take everything that you say and they're going to compare it to the policy to find some language that doesn't fit. And that gives them a chance to deny the claim. So without an adjuster of your own, you're leaving it open to them to deny the claim, or even worse, pay the claim and pay not even what it's close to what it's supposed to be. So really what a public adjuster could do on the back end, if you were to hire one, is we would evaluate the damages and then look through the policy and make sure that there's a way to get what your damage is covered. And then work in it that other way, instead of the insurance company looking to deny.
Yeah. And your consultation for homeowners is free. Your initial consultation is free. So don't be afraid to call Anthony and make sure that you get a free consultation, at least that you know, okay, this is what I think it should be. And, you talk to him. It's always a likability factor too. You have to like the person that you work with, things like that. Tell us a little bit about how do you hire a good adjuster? Right.
So you want to really look at their not just their site, but the reviews, see what other people are saying. Because if it's bad, it's going to be on there, and if it's good, that's also going to be on there. So you really just want to make sure that it's someone that you can get along with and trust, because when you file a claim, the insurance company has 90 days to make a coverage decision. So your claim can be open and no money coming in for up to 90 days. So if you're gonna have a lot of questions, you're gonna need a lot of help, and you're gonna need a lot of support. So you need to find that adjuster who's willing to give you his time of day, to follow up with not just the insurance company, but also you, to give you answers and feedback, because it's stressful enough dealing with a claim. When a fire or water damage happens, it's hard enough. So you really want somebody who's gonna hold your hand throughout the process, and that's what we really do here.
And we hope you never have to be in this situation. But if you do find yourself in this situation, and it happens, a storm comes through, a tree went in your house, you never know. There's so many things that can happen, and you just have to know what's available to you and how to go about it, because you've been paying this insurance your whole life. You've been in the house for 10 years, you're paying insurance, and all of a sudden you got a claim. And, what's the best way to go about it to be able to make sure that you maximize on that claim and that it covers the damage that it's that you have in your home, because that's the last thing you want. You don't want that stress. Plus, you have to put money from your pocket because the insurance company told you, no, this is worth way less than what you're thinking, and it's not, right? So it's kind of not fair. So that's why we have people like Anthony for that purpose. Now, tell us a little bit about advice for the clients. Do you have any advice for people that are looking to get insurance, buy a house for the first time?
Yeah, definitely. So when you're looking to, well, first of all, if you're buying any house, property, even renter's insurance is very, very affordable. Even the homeowner's insurance is pretty affordable. So you definitely want to go to an insurance broker. I would recommend an independent insurance broker, not like a direct agent, because if you go to a direct agent, again, they work for the insurance company. So an independent broker is someone you want to find, and just be as honest as possible. Tell them what you're using the property for, especially. A lot of times I find claims that are getting denied is because of the occupancy. So if you have a home that you want to rent and you don't live there, but you want the cheaper insurance, which is a homeowner's insurance, you're going to go ahead and get that to save some money. But when you file a claim and you weren't in the home to maintain the home and you had tenants in there, they will deny your claim. So it's always best Yeah, it's always best to make sure that you find a broker, tell them all the right information, answer all the questions honestly, and pay for the best policy. Don't go for the cheaper policy.
Mhm.
Get the endorsements that you can add on there. For especially make sure you're covered for water damage. I've seen some policies
Oh
where
yeah.
they have water exclusions, but water does a lot of damage.
Oh
Um,
yes, definitely.
and just to go back to what you said, Ziamar, about when to know when to call an adjuster, if it's too big or too small.
I'm gonna just ask you that too.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
Yeah.
like you said before, free consultation. So, to me, if you have damage, your call should be to the plumber to stop the water and then to your public adjuster, just
Mhm.
to ask. And if he's close enough, nearby enough to come by and see, or even do virtual or buy some photos, but you really want to have someone in there to take a look because there could be
Mhm.
underlying damage, and the insurance company only pays for what they can see. So if there's stuff behind the walls, under the carpet, you have to know how to document it and show it.
Mhm.
Um, Myself, I come in with moisture readers to find where there's water that you can't see, and
Mhm.
that's behind the walls and whatnot. And we find it, we expose it, and get you paid for it. So
Okay. So
even
it's,
if it's something you're not sure if it's big enough, why not have it checked out?
of course.
Yeah, if it's a small enough claim that we believe that there's not much value we can bring to the table, then we'll recommend to go on your own.
Yeah. So, what types of claims do you see more often? The water
Uh,
damage, obviously, that's a big one because water does a lot of damage to a structure. What are the basic ones that you see most?
yeah. So a lot of times, especially this past winter, because it got very cold, there was a lot of roof damages where the water came in from the roof. So I know this is really a real estate show, so you have other real estate people or maybe a contractor watching this right now.
Mhm.
But yeah, contractors or roofers, we can also be one of your best friends too, because as an adjuster that works for the public, we're maximizing the claim.
Mhm.
So insurance company, instead of them offering to pay for a roof patch and a few shingles to be changed, we don't accept that. We get the whole roof fixed
Mhm.
and paid for. So
Well,
more
that's a
money.
good idea. If the roof is already giving you problems, you most likely want to update it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's just going to make the job bigger for that contractor. And then, better work and repair that can be done to the home for the homeowner. So it's a win-win all around.
And you also do work on bulk. You actually offer property management companies 50% off. That's a great deal.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I know I worked with one of the companies I worked for before a few years ago. I know that they were helping a lot of property managers, and I noticed that, and I figured if they're bringing the property manager is bringing so much business to us, why not offer something in return?
Mhm.
So that's what we do here. Is I offer half of our fee off for any property management company that wants to work with us.
Okay, that's good.
And one other thing that I do that most public adjustment companies do not do, and this is just to prove what we're all about, is being successful and bringing more money to the table. So if the claim turns out where we don't do that and not more money wasn't brought to the table and it's not a good enough settlement, and when I say good enough, you're not able to uh, replace what was there, you're
Mhm.
not able to repair your home properly, then we don't take any fee.
Oh, okay.
So we always get more money. A lot of people like to ask that too. What's the
How do you get
percentages?
paid? How do
Yeah, of how
you
much
know how
more
to
I
get
can
paid?
get. Yeah, so mainly I always say it can be up to 100% more because we've gotten people who were denied, we've gotten them paid money,
Mhm.
and then always we get more money because we look at every little detail, every little penny,
Mhm.
bring it into play, and get more.
Yeah, that's very important. You need somebody on your side,
Yep.
and don't trust the song. Um, any last advice that you have for our viewers on how to structure a loan or any other tips that you may want to give?
Yeah, I just wanted to really just like I said, when you go to get insurance, I don't want to touch on that again. Just make sure you get the right coverages, so that way when you go to make a claim, no surprises. What was that?
Make sure you don't leave that office without asking everything.
Yeah,
And that's why we do these, because this is important for you to kind of have it in the back of your mind, so that you think, you kind of, it's like reverse engineering. What would happen if this would happen, or if that would happen? That's why I was asking you, what are the most common type of claims that you see? Roof would be one, water damage would be another, fire, obviously
yeah.
that's yeah. What other ones that we are not thinking about are the bigger ones?
Well, we just got finished with what we adjusters call puffback season. So when you go to turn on your boiler, a lot of them malfunction and will cause a puffback, where the black smoke that was built up in the machine will come, instead of going out of the house, will come into the house.
Wow.
And it's hard to see because some people are like, oh, I just thought it was a little dark on the wall, or it's not good lighting, so you don't really see it. But the fumes from that will really leave a black soot on the walls. One, it's horrible for your health, and two, it doesn't look nice. And then three, best of all, is you can get a whole new paint job in the house. So when you go to turn on the boiler, check the walls, check the ceilings, make sure you didn't have a puffback, and if you did, then you call an adjuster, and we get I handled a few of them where I helped the homeowners clean the house from top to bottom, and then repaint the walls from top to bottom.
Nice, nice. That's really good. It feels good to be able to look out for your homeowners and your clients, because they're putting a lot of money into an insurance, and they should be treated correctly.
Yeah.
And what else did I wanted to ask you? Where could we find you? And we have your phone number if you want to call Anthony for a free consultation is 516-584-3099. Here we go. We have it on the bottom there. Or you can email him at anthony@agpublicadjuster.com. Is that correct?
Yep, absolutely. And that number you can text as well.
Awesome. And then we also have his website that you could go check it out. It's ggconnectagency.com. And thank you so much for being with us, Anthony. We really appreciate it. We're a little smarter today now that we know what to look for, and claims and how to go about them. Very important that if you run into a situation where you have to use your insurance, you have to put a claim in, to call Anthony, so that he could give you a free consultation, and then that way you get a little bit more knowledge on what to do. Right? Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Xiomara. It was a pleasure. And like I said offline, is that I really love what you're doing here. So keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.